Today, we're diving into a raw and absolutely profound account of slavery, seen through the eyes of a young Frederick Douglass. We're going to focus on one single devastating event that gave him a horrifying new understanding of his world. Let's get into it. So, let's start with a big question. How do we figure out what something is worth? In our everyday lives, we have all these systems for it, simple tools and processes we barely even think about. I mean, just picture an old-fashioned market scale. It's a totally impartial tool, right? You put your goods on one side, you put standard weights on the other, and boom, you get a number. It's cold, it's mechanical, it's for things. But what happens when that exact same logic gets applied to a person? And just like that, with one sentence, everything changes. Here, Frederick Douglass isn't the one using the scale. No, he is the thing being placed upon it. And that phrase, the other property, it wasn't just land or furniture. As you're about to see, it was so much worse. So, what kicked all this off? Well, it was the unexpected death of his master, a man named Captain Anthony. And since he died without a will, all of his property had to be legally valued so it could be split up between his two kids, Andrew and Lucretia. For Douglass, that meant he was being called back to the place where he was born. Now, this is what's absolutely crucial to grasp: his age. Douglass had been gone for 5 years, living in Baltimore. He was just a kid, maybe 10 or 11 years old, when he was ripped out of his life and forced to make this journey. He was heading back to face a process he was only just starting to understand, with what he called a soul full of apprehension. And this brings us to the heart of the story. This is the moment of the valuation itself, an experience Douglass would later call the great devaluation of human life. I mean, just look at this. This is how the property was sorted. There wasn't a separate line for people. Men and women and children, they were all lined up together. Men standing right next to the horses, women beside the cattle. And children were ranked right alongside pigs. Young, old, it didn't matter. They were all grouped together with the livestock, put through the exact same inspection. This right here is the core of the horror. That phrase, the scale of being, it's such a chilling twist on a simple market scale, isn't it? What he's saying is that in this system, there was zero distinction. A human being was put on the exact same level as an animal. Their soul, their thoughts, their humanity, none of it mattered. The only thing that gave them value was their body's ability to do work, just like a horse or an ox. But believe it or not, that cold mechanical valuation, that was only the beginning. After they were all assigned a number, the truly terrifying part started: the division. This was the moment their entire future would be decided, forever. For all the enslaved people huddled there, they had about as much say in their own lives as the animals they were just standing with. Douglass said that just a single word from one of the white men was enough to shatter a family, to tear best friends apart for the rest of their lives. Can you even imagine the terror of knowing your entire existence hangs on one single, arbitrary word from somebody else? And that terror wasn't just some abstract idea. Oh no, it had a name. While being separated from loved ones was a guaranteed pain, the one thing they all feared most was being given to one person in particular: Master Andrew. See, Master Andrew was known for being a cruel and reckless drunk. He'd already burned through most of his inheritance. Being given to him was seen as a fate just as bad as being sold to the Georgia traders, which everyone knew was basically a sentence of extreme brutality, if not outright death. This wasn't just about moving to a new plantation, this was a potential death sentence. It was right there, in the middle of all this terror, this complete and utter dehumanization, that the young Frederick Douglass had this incredible moment of clarity. He suddenly saw the entire system for what it was. He realized that the poison of slavery didn't just destroy the people who were enslaved, it had to corrupt the slaveholder too. Think about it. To treat people like animals, to rank a child next to a pig, to hold the power to destroy families with a single word, doing that requires a deep, profound moral rot. The system, it brutalized everyone it touched. And so Douglass's account leaves us with this really heavy question. In a system that's designed to strip one group of their humanity, is it even possible for the other group to hold on to theirs? When a system is built on brutalization, it seems like nobody, not the slave, and not the slaveholder, gets away undamaged.